Usman. So here we are again, and the topic of discussion today, because it's coming up, is the foreign buyers ban.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about it. So, what is it? So, back in June, the Canadian government passed this legislation, which is called, and hopefully I'll get it right, Prohibition on the Purchase of Residential Property by Non-Canadians.
Non-Canadians,
Yeah.
yes.
So, in other words,
The foreign buyers
foreign
ban.
buyers ban. That's what we're calling it. And it's coming into effect as of January 1st,
January 1st,
2023, which is literally a month and a half away.
And that's going to stop and prohibit foreign buyers from buying for 2 years here in Canada.
It's a temporary ban, but it is for 2 years. Absolutely. Yeah.
So-
what does that mean?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay. And before I talk about anything, let's have a disclaimer out that we are not providing any legal advice, legal counsel here.
Oh, yeah.
We're
We're not your lawyers.
We're not the lawyers. Simply sharing some information so that people are aware, and then they can seek legal counsel who want to learn a little bit more about it.
Absolutely.
Good?
Okay, so let's talk about timelines first. What are the
Okay.
timelines? If I buy a property today, how does that affect me?
So, based on our understanding, if you buy a property today, and if you're a foreign buyer, that means that you're either not a permanent resident of Canada or a Canadian citizen. You can still purchase a property today. You can purchase a property as far out as December 31st,
Okay.
as long as that you have a firm offer, accepted offer,
Okay.
by that time frame.
Okay, so the one I buy today doesn't have to close before 2023.
Correct.
Okay, it can
correct.
close
So,
whenever.
Yeah.
And as long as it was firm before, on or before December 31st,
you have
2022.
you have an accepted offer sitting with you.
Okay.
And it is before January 1st.
Like any other legislation, there's always loopholes, exemptions. So, do you know any of those?
Number one, it is only applied to the residential properties.
Okay,
That's
so
what the legislation says.
Me, Mr. Foreign buyer, can go and purchase
It
commercial.
does not apply to commercial. So
Okay.
foreign buyers are still allowed to buy commercial property if they choose to.
Okay.
So that's good. Another example we can give that if your spouse or common law partner is eligible, that means that they are residents or citizens. That doesn't apply to you as well.
Okay.
Right, and we're not just talking about individuals. When we say foreign buyers, we're talking about individuals and businesses and entities. if
Any
you
other
will.
entities.
Any other entities.
So if you're
correct.
a foreign buyer, you try to buy something under a company number. Don't do that, because what I read, there is a lot of penalty that's attached if you were.
So if you
to-
are in breach of that legislation or that law, there are penalties for the buyer and anybody who actually facilitates that transaction as well. That could involve us as real estate agents. That could include your lawyers. That could include the lenders, and all kinds of different different aspects of it that could get affected by that. So it has to be very closely understood
Okay.
before anybody gets into a real estate transaction, a residential real estate transaction, as starting January 1st.
So don't break the law, guys. Let's just seek legal counsel. Don't tempt me to help you as well. And one more thing that we wanted to discuss today was: is it going to affect the already suffering real estate market? Is
Yeah.
it going to affect?
I think it's anybody's guess in terms of where it's going to go. That's how we look at it, because we've been slapping taxes over taxes to foreign buyers anyway.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, 2015, 2016, when the province of British Columbia started implementing a foreign buyers tax, and then after that they started implementing vacancy taxes and all that kind of stuff. And right now, the province of Ontario has 25% foreign buyers tax
Wow.
at the moment, which is the highest in Canada at the moment.
And we do have
Has
a
that
vacancy
affected?
tax?
Let's not get into that,
Okay.
because that could open up another types of debates and things like that. There are certain municipalities that are now starting to implement that.
Okay,
But let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Not in this this conversation. But coming back to the point, the effects on the Canadian real estate market is anybody's guess at the moment.
Okay.
How that's going to affect it. I think the debate that people are now having is that whether this is the right approach to continue to welcome people into Canada.
Yeah, because it's so easy to say, our market isn't doing well, or we're not feeling well in any shape or form. Okay, Mr. Foreign Buyer, slap,
That's right.
go away.
That's right. And just imagine a lot of Canadians who are buying a lot of property in America, for example. The many Canadians own recreational properties in America, and now all of a sudden we are saying to the Americans, for example, that hey, you know what, you cannot buy similar kind of properties in Canada if you'd like to. So I think from our perspective, I think it puts Canada in a bit of a weird spot. I think we are a very welcoming country. We are a country of immigrants. If you just look at the Greater Toronto area, I think almost 51% of the population has been born outside of Canada.
Yeah.
Right. So when you look at it from that perspective, I think it just puts a little bit of a question mark on us as Canadians in terms of how welcoming we are, or how welcoming we should be.
Yeah.
Because I think just from, again, personal opinion, is that it's a bit unfair to have such a draconian type of a legislation to ban foreign buyers from purchasing a property in Canada. So
just buy commercial, guys. Just buy commercial. Yeah. Anyways.
Now again, the good thing is temporary, and hopefully will something good will come out of it at some point.
We'll
but ultimately, I think
it's anybody's guess.
Absolutely, I think it goes back to the same discussion on we just need to build more homes, as opposed to limiting people from buying homes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
All right.